I knew that the media would basically build me up as this villain, right, on the one hand, but I knew that events would basically prove me correct.
He outed the woman who claimed rape at a University of Virginia fraternity. He gave out the home addresses of New York Times reporters who gave away where Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson lived. He's been named the most hated man on the internet, and he's living right here in the Central Valley. Tonight, he is talking exclusively with Action News. That's our top story tonight at 6. Good evening. I'm Liz Harrison in for Graciela Moreno.
And I'm Warren Armstrong. Charles C. Johnson has won awards for his reporting, but he's also been ridiculed in the mainstream media. A New York Times columnist recently called him a troll on steroids. Action News reporter Corin Hoggart is live in the newsroom now with why Johnson calls Fresno home and why he'll continue to court controversy. Corin.
Warren Johnson grew up on the East Coast, and he's worked for big-time publications like the Wall Street Journal, but now he's going it alone, and he could do it anywhere in the country, but says he followed his wife to Fresno, then fell in love with the low cost of living and the people. On the same day President Obama ordered sanctions on North Korea in response to the Sony hack, we met with the man whose news website has claimed since day one it was an inside job and the communist regime was uninvolved.
What I found so interesting about it is the North Koreans are not exactly the types to deny doing things. I mean, and yet they're saying, no, we had nothing to do with this. We want to nuke you guys, but we didn't have anything to do with this.
Charles C. Johnson's seemingly outlandish reports on politics and news have created an online profile so big it can't be ignored. The New York Times, the Washington Post, and Mother Jones Magazine have all profiled him in the last month. But in this quiet Fresno area neighborhood, he lives in relative obscurity. Neighbors have heard of his work, but his proximity was a surprise.
But it is interesting to know that someone pushing a lot of negativity out there is living next door.
Johnson has a long list of successes, including revealing the bogus credentials of supposed Syrian expert Elizabeth O'Baggy.
She made up having a PhD, and she was working for the Syrian rebels, and her work was being cited on the House floor by both parties for why we should go to war in Syria. And I don't know what we should do in Syria, but I know that we should not have frauds be the ones making the case.
But he also has failures. For example, in his effort to unmask the rape hoax at the University of Virginia, he posted a photo of the wrong woman.
Breaking news is often wrong. I mean, I try and get the error margin as low as I can, but it's very tricky.
But in the fast-moving and pay-per-click world of internet news, both success and failure may be good for business. And for Johnson, business is good. He says his website, GotNews.com, is getting 2 million page views a month, and he's got enough funding to offer up hundreds of dollars for evidence of North Korea's role in the Sony hack or Jeb Bush mistresses. His media empire has small borders for now, but Johnson sees himself as at least the next Matt Drudge, if not William Randolph Hearst.
I mean, I was just at Hearst Castle the other day. Seems like that would be kind of cool to build a Hearst Castle equivalent in Fresno.
The 26-year-old Johnson told me he plans to stay in Fresno as long as he can, despite some recent threats. He's also hoping to hire some locals to work on his website sometime in the next few months. From the newsroom, Corin Hoggart, ABC 30, Action News.